So this is an email that I got on June 29th, 2016. It says, hello from Twitch. They want to do a Skype or Google Hangouts discussion with me because they want to ask me about something. A new feature, an improvement to the user experience. And they'd also give me a $50 Amazon e-gift card. Maybe I got it. I honestly have no idea. I was just so excited to be a part of helping streaming. Because I'd been watching streams for 4 years at that point, and like, obviously this is super long time ago, so Twitch was so much smaller. It was pretty big by then, but every year it gets bigger and bigger. But in 2016, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so into streaming. I'm watching tons of streams. I'm streaming. Like, this just feels like I'm part of something. And in this meeting, they asked me, so I had to do this survey, right? And in the survey, I think you had to watch a clip and then talk about it. And it was, clips were pretty new back then. So it was like, what do you feel about this thing? Like, you just watch this. And my response to it, even though I think I signed some NDA, which is obviously nobody cares about me and is probably expired. And my response was, we need resolution settings. Because 2 years prior to that, I was in high school and I was living with my parents, and I talk about how I have to watch streams on Medium so I don't break the internet because the internet was so bad. Like, the download speed was so bad. If you started watching streams on high, because there was no P settings, it was low, medium, high, it would crash the internet. So I was like, people can't watch clips, because I remember having a problem where if I'm watching a stream on Medium and then an ad comes in and the ad comes in high resolution, my internet crashes. And like a 30-second thing just crashed your internet. That's terrible. So how can people that have worse internet quality than I did 2 years before, which is a lot of the world, wouldn't be able to watch clips whether on their phone or on their desktop? Because I think there was a Twitch mobile app by then. I mean, there should have been. 2016, right? There should have been. Actually, or 2 years before. Yeah, because there was, yeah, iPhones had been out for some years. I don't know. No idea. But I know nowadays on my data plan, I actually can't watch clips at the highest setting. So it is still a problem. If there wasn't resolution settings on clips, it would still be a problem for me with my data plan. I have to lower it to 720 because 1080 is too high. I don't get that high of internet on my phone. So that's what I said in this meeting, right? They didn't have quality options, and that was pretty quickly implemented. It might have been something they were already doing anyway. I'm not going to say that I'm not the one who added quality options to clips, but that was the feedback I gave them in this meeting. Now, there is also another email which I think is very interesting. But in the next email, I send this. And I said this after the meeting, okay? So keep that in mind. This is July 7th, 2016. And it's just an odd thing to write out. But think about that I was thinking about this back then, okay? There was another suggestion that I'd like to make about Twitch clips, and that would be the option to disable clips for a channel. That didn't come, I think, for years later. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. There are two reasons. Sometimes people just don't like to be, recorded in that kind of way. They want to make a joke, but they don't want to be held accountable. Whatever. It's meant to be like a joke, and then, if they say something wrong, they want to be able to remove it and not have it ever be clipped and used against them again. So they should still be, held accountable for saying it live, but it's not some clip that remains out there forever. I don't know at this time if I don't remember So now people use Streamable to auto convert clips. But there was it was Giazzo or Giazzo. I don't know how to say that. People were Giazzoing clips, I believe, to convert them into something that couldn't be deleted. Because if somebody could delete the clip, like that was after this, obviously, or else I wouldn't be able to ask that they can delete clips. But there, for a while, you couldn't delete clips, and sorry, people have to apologize. They said in jest. The second reason they could undermine something about this. Yes. So you know how some people, almost nobody, does VOD to subscribers. Some people do. I think it's terrible, but some people do it. There's also sub-only streams now, but that was way after this. But some people do VODs only to subs. If you can make clips of a VOD of a sub-only VOD, people can technically get around having to watch the VODs, or they can get around not being able to watch the VODs by watching clips of the stream. So the whole point of a sub-only VOD is people have to pay to get my content not live. And clips existing kind of goes around that. So that was my second example. And honestly, I knew that barely anybody did and still does use this feature, but I realized from a mechanics standpoint, if somebody is using it, they may not want people to access their content other ways. And then, so this, I guess I preempted that converting clips thing. I know a common statement with clips are disabled is they use another program. So basically what people used to do is they used to just stream people's, or not, they used to record people's streams. So you would literally have, not fraps, but that's the only thing I can think of back then, but you would take essentially fraps and have it recording your monitor as you're watching a stream so that you could clip people. And then you could take that and make your own video with it. There's also I forget what it's called. It was called like Twitch Leech or something like that. Let me stop this real quick. I think it might be in my programs I used to use folder. Remember that from yesterday? That's pretty big. It's coming back. Let me see. Programs I used to use. It isn't here, sadly. But it was called like Twitch Leecher or something. Is it? I don't think it's on this computer. No. But you used to be able to rip people's VODs just if you had a link. And you could download the entire thing. Which was supposed to be, I believe, it was supposed to be limited to only that creator and you download your VOD. But there was some program that would, probably go through the API or whatever and then download the VOD of somebody else. So you can already do things, but I think that's a bad argument to make, that people are just recording other people's streams essentially. So if somebody's recording their stream, they can make a clip of it. But barely anybody was doing that. And then something about Twitch clips are not only sanctioned by Twitch, but they're easy for an uninformed user to learn about and start using. I don't know what this sentence says, but let's say it. Yeah, it was a Skype interview. Remember when people used Skype? I just think this is crazy. Because like they have this team, I guess, and if oh, you can't see it. I've been speaking. You can't see it. But yeah, my bad. But you whatever. I'm a terrible streamer. I understand. But yeah, this sentence here, this last sentence, I don't know what I'm saying. But I used the word sanctioned, so I'm clearly saying something big brain. I don't know what it means, though. But I wrote this. Let me swap screens again. I wrote this email, which is the guy that I spoke to, I think. I wrote this email to The UX Research Manager. And I guess I could give his Twitch ID, but I'm not going to do that. But let me look at his Twitter. Is this some guy? Okay, he doesn't work at Twitch anymore. I'm still not going to say his name. But the UX, research manager was reaching out to get people's ideas. So if they're reaching out for things and they also have, an internal department that's going to go and change things, how do they not make moves with this stuff faster? That's where I'm so blown away. That's what I don't get. But I'm going to make a video of this just so I can have this in the future because I think it's really interesting. It shows like something they did in the past and how they bettered their stuff, and now I don't think that happens anymore. Yeah, that's where we're not on the inside, so we don't really get it. We just know there's no product coming out. And it's been years. And so in 2016 there was no TikTok. I know that's crazy. I know that's wild. So nobody would have suggested anything like having scrollable clips. I mean, maybe somebody would have, but I doubt anybody there was no short form content super crazy drive back then, So I'm not saying somebody I'm not saying somebody 8 years ago would have said we need a clips section. Maybe somebody did, but I doubt that. But now, let's see, when did TikTok blow up? Do you know? I have no idea. TikTok creation date at least. But I mean, so that was created in 16, surprisingly. But most downloaded app in 2018. So a couple years after. But you think it blew up in COVID? Yeah, so in 4 years, the problem is my memory sucks. And I know I say my streaming memory is so great, but when we talk about dates, I have no idea what happens with dates. So I can't tell you what's been implemented in the last 4 years because I just don't know. So one of the things I do know that's been implemented is this. Okay, well, something nobody uses. But this.
That's too much.
The home page. Okay? That has been improved on in the last 4 years. They now do channels we think you'd like. They have the categories, and then they start pulling from things. Then they have the algorithms down here, and they list. You like you like a topic, so you're gonna like this, and then these are all the same. Or the small communities, game streams, VTubers. Nobody uses this, but yeah, the carousel. Nobody actually is gonna do any of this. These are worthless, but they have made them. So that is something they've added. They've also done predictions, which I hate. You use them? Okay. The boomer uses the carousel. Isn't that word like a horse thing that goes in circles? Am I crazy? Every time I read it, it seems like that horse thing in the circus. You sit on it and it. Yes. Okay. Why is it the same word?